You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is Friday, April 20th, 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Friday. Oil flat as Russia contemplates easing quota levels in H2. Oil prices were slightly higher on Friday, remaining near their highest levels in over 3.5 years, after officials from the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and Russia met in Saudi Arabia. The joint OPEC and non-OPEC panel found that compliance with the agreement to curb production hit another record high of 149%, while the global supply glut has been virtually eliminated. Second thing to know, earnings. All eyes on General Electric. Focus on earnings will continue to drive sentiment in stock markets as a slew of names report corporate earnings on Friday. Of the 74 S&P firms that have reported earnings through Thursday, 80% have beat on both the top and bottom line. Some of the more notable names due to report earnings before U.S. markets open on Friday include General Electric, Honeywell, and Schlumberger. Third thing to know is markets wait for Fed speakers with eyes on treasuries. With no major economic data on Friday's agenda, market participants will continue to look for clues on monetary policy from Federal Reserve members. Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mester reiterated her view that the central bank should forge ahead with plans to gradually reduce policy accommodation. If the economy evolves as I anticipate, I believe further gradual increases in interest rates will be appropriate this year and next, she remarked on Thursday evening. Markets have largely priced in that the Fed will hike rates twice more this year. Fed fund futures put the odds of the next rate hike coming in June at around 97%, according to investing.com's Fed Rate Monitor tool. The probability of another increase in December was seen at 88%. Fourth thing to know, cable drops as BOE governor dampens rate hike expectations. The pound moved lower against the dollar on Friday after Bank of England Governor Mark Carney hinted that market expectations for a rate hike in May could be overblown. Late Thursday, Carney told BBC that while markets could expect gradual rate hikes in the coming years, he didn't want to get too focused on the precise timing. The BOE chief pointed to weak business surveys and retail sales as some of the softer data. And the fifth thing to know is Japanese inflation holds steady, reinforcing forecast for BOJ to stand pat. Japan's core price index held steady at an annualized gain of 1.1% in March, while underlying inflation stuck at 0.9%. Both readings were in line with consensus. Our second story today is from Coindesk.com. Bitcoin resistance Bitcoin resistance rises to 8,460 after an unconvincing breakout. Bitcoin saw small gains last night, but the weak move did little to further the bull case. The target resistance level to beat yesterday, long-term descending trend line, was $8,285. A high volume close, as per UTC, above that mark would have signaled a long-term bullish trend reversal. Bitcoin closed yesterday at $8,273 on Bitfinex, meaning the breakout remained elusive. However, a new 24-hour candle, as per UTC, opened above the descending trendline support, creating a false picture of a bullish breakout. So while it appears as though the bull breakout has happened, the move is more of a sideways breach, unconvincing breakout, of the long-term trendline hurdle. Our third story today is from MarketWatch.com. Gold prices head for a narrow weekly drop, and surging silver futures retreat. Gold futures traded lower for a second consecutive session Friday, headed towards a weekly decline of roughly 0.4%, as a strengthening dollar and rising treasury yields weighed on the metals complex. In early action, June gold was $4.50, or 0.3% lower, at $1,344.30 an ounce, threatening its first back-to-back decline since the two-session drop ended March 28. Though the commodity has mostly traded in a narrow range, the contract is now down some 1% since hitting a 2.5-month high of $13.60 as recently as April 11. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use for today, Friday, April 20th, 2018. Your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart, and have a great weekend.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions@theoptionsinsider.com.